we also will be meeting some of the sadhus that are members of the pilgrimage, the sadhus that want to come to America. You know, their pilgrimage was shut down because of the COVID crisis and they can't travel, and we don't know when they're coming, but we do know that they are coming and they're very devoted to making that pilgrimage, which I believe is so important for the earth, to move our energy with the matrix of the earth, especially now. The planet really needs all of us to come together in our oneness with her. And the sadhus are devoted to that idea of pilgrimage as well. But right now they're not in a position to travel, and their normal way of life has been set aside. They can't go to temples, they can't take pilgrimage. So we've been supporting them, as many of you know, raising funds for them to have food and shelter. But today we're going to learn all about their culture and meet them personally. And we're still waiting for Palani to join us. But first of all, I want to introduce you to Danielle, who's there with Adi. You can see her on the video. She's going to be the co-host, and she'll be managing the chat and keeping track of everyone's video and audio. So I will say again, for those who are just joining, we cannot have everyone on video because of the bandwidth. We want to be sure that we don't lose any of the sadhus over there with their tenuous internet connections. And so we'll be focusing on one speaker at a time. So we're going to start with the welcome from our CEO of the Enlightened Life Festival, Prema Sagara. Prema has been involved in our pilgrimage from the beginning. He and I really were the ones that got the message and the call. So let's start with Prema Sagara. Good morning, Prema.
Good morning. I'm so profoundly happy to see all of these people with us on the call. You know, we've done a lot of this work and these journeys with some helpers, and you see them on the video, some of them on the video here. But all these people joining us is a wonderful communion. We're so happy to have all of you with us. I'm going to give a brief synopsis of how we got to this point, because it's an incredible journey, and I'd like to share some insight on how we arrived here. And so, as some of you may know, there are several of us on this call that became connected to a particular yogi, the Siddha Master Hari Baba, Sri Hari Baba. And the sadhus know about him, and it was about 8 years ago that we all got connected to him, especially Jyoti Ma. And so we all have different connections to Sri Hari Baba, but Jyoti Ma is the one that was able to arrive at his cave in the Himalayas. And it's through his instruction and through his grace that we are taking part in this activity. You know, and he is a very divine, blessed being, and as we imply with the Siddha, you know, he has certain abilities, certain siddhis, because that is the perfected natural state. And if those of you on the yoga path will know that you don't pursue the siddhis, but when you attain and you become realized, it's part of the path. And so through his incredible abilities, he's brought us to this point. You know, it was 2.5 years ago we started working on this project to bring the pilgrimage to America, to bring the Kumbh Mela of America to this land. And so we started going to India. You know, it was in the beginning of 2019 that Adi and myself and Jyoti Ma met Manikandan in Tamil Nadu, and we started our journey to bring the pilgrims to America, which has been such an incredibly beautiful process. But at a certain point, we all know that there were some difficult circumstances arising this last winter and spring, and so I had some insight, which is that I've been communicating or interacting with other people as well who are involved with different lineages of practitioners. And it's come to light that the Siddhas have known that something was on the horizon in terms of the global scale. that there has been a potential for some very difficult circumstance arising for the collective. And so the pandemic in particular was perhaps not unknown to some of the Siddha masters. And so I have had very keen flashing insight that Sri Hari Baba was aware that we were getting into a position to help the sadhus. Some of you who do sadhana will understand that the tapasya that the sadhus do is very in depth. You know, the self-sacrifice and the purification practices they do can be very profound. And, you know, due to the nature of the circumstance globally, when the temples were not open and providing their traditional configuration for them to receive donations and their livelihood, they were put into this very tricky position. And I feel that it is the power of the divine that has put us in this position to be able to connect those who are blessed and with abundance, to assist those who have done intense tapasya, and to share the resources. So the holy indigenous people of India can be supported through the mystery of the divine, you know, to bridge the gap. And all of us here, you know, we have an opportunity to participate in this holy activity together, which is a very merit building activity. And so there's a mutual benefit for everyone involved who participates and shares abundance. And that's really what it's all about. So I feel incredibly happy because of that. And yeah, that's that. I think the next thing is I will introduce our Chief Financial Officer, Khem Raj Joshi. And I'd like to tell you a little bit about Mr. Joshi, as we call him. Joshi is the owner of Heavenly India Tours, and he helps us so much when we travel to India. He is an incredible organizer and travel agent. And Heavenly India Tours is an awesome organization. And he is the trustee for Enlightened Life in India. So he is handling the disbursements of the donations to make sure that they get to the right people in India and get ultimately to the sadhus. So I thank Joshi so much. He's a dear brother and a Sangha member. And welcome to the call, Joshi. Is he unmuted?
Joshi has joined us. Namaste, Joshi. Yeah. Thank you for
Namaste.
being with us. Thank you, Prema.
Yeah, namaste to all of you from motherland of incredible India. Present at this virtual meeting, respected Jyoti Ma, founder of Enlightenment Life Festival, CEO, Holy Brother Prema Sagara, India team leader Konar Manikandan, beloved spiritual sadhu sadhvi, and all the reputed guests out there, please accept my deep regards once again. At this crisis time of pandemic, Jyoti Ma has started campaign to help the spiritual soul, sadhu and sadhvi, which is great step and appreciable. I would like to say a big thank you to all the guests, helping hands, for their contribution and for making living life easier to them. Without your kind help and support, it was not possible. Due to this pandemic, the whole world is suffering, and philanthropy is the largest religion. Thank you once again. Further, I would like to add that your kind help and support is continuously required to provide food and sleeping to them. Also, the plan is to take these holy spiritual souls from this motherland of India to secret land of the great United States, Santa Fe. And we hope we will make it possible by support and blessings from all of you. In the end, I would like to share one peace mantra It's in Sanskrit language, which is Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhina, Sarve Santu Niramaya, Sarve Bhadrani Pasyantu, Ma Kasid Dukha Bhavate, Om Santi, Santi, Santi. Its meaning is, may all sentient beings be at peace, may no one suffer from illness, may all see what is auspicious, may no one suffer. Om Santi, Santi, Santi. Thank you very much all. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Joshi. I want to ask you, can you tell us a little bit about the economic situation over there? How is it affecting everyone? I know it has affected you and your business as well.
Yeah. Jyoti Ma, I have been reading in Indian newspapers that the only traveling industry, the travel industry is in loss about more than $8 million US. The migrant employee, they were working here in Delhi, Mumbai, Calcutta, Chennai, or another part of India. They all has gone back to their place because of this pandemic. Also, all the hotels, restaurants, even though some of them are opened, but still there is no anything like a business, we can say. So the situation is very tough, and same as a spiritual people. Earlier they were staying in a temple, they had a stay there, they had a place to stay there, they had a food to eat. Now no one can go to the temple and pay anything or give anything to them. So it's a very tough situation for the people.
Glad that we can do something to help, and we're really so grateful for your help over there. You're a really important part of our team in India, and I know that all the guests with us today are all sending you their love and blessings and best wishes. And we really appreciate you so much, Joshi. Thank you for that lovely introduction and prayer. And we look forward to talking to you again in a minute. We're going to meet the sadhus now, but before we meet the sadhus, we're going to meet Manikandan. So we're going to ask him to unmute himself so we can introduce Mani. Can you hear us, Mani? I want to share a little bit as I introduce Mani. We went to Tamil Nadu, as Prema was saying, coming like 2 years ago now, and 2.5 years. And we met, first of all, Manikandan, who is a cultural attaché, cultural interpreter. Danielle, I wonder if you could jump in and help me mute muted. With Mani.
Could you hear me?
Manikandan, all that he has done since the day that we met him is to be of service to the holy people of India. And here he is with Venkatesh. And he coordinates all of our sadhus. He provides translation for all of our sadhus. And he goes out and delivers food and supplies and gets rooms for them when he receives the donations from us. But most importantly, he's our family, and he has a lovely family there in Madurai as well with 2 children. And he's been such an important part of the whole mission. The mission with the Sadhus pilgrimage could not be happening without Mani. So I'm going to introduce him now and ask Mani, can you tell us a little bit about the temple culture of India and about the sadhus and the role that they play in the culture? Good morning, Mani, or good evening to you.
Yes.
Tell
Jyoti Ma.
our guests a little bit about
So
the life of the
that
sadhus
is
in Tamil Nadu.
Did you hear me?
Yes.
Right. That is stays with me one of the Venkatesh. So
Venkatesh.
such a long time he was in the. So that is Venkatesh and Krishnaveni, and she was there. Those are the people says thanks to all of Jyoti Ma and Premas and all of our team of the donors also and Joes also, because those are the people really they are very happy to get blessed from Sri Hari Baba, also from Jyoti Ma. At the moment, those are helping is giving big blessing for them. So hopefully they are getting enough food for day by the Sri Hari Baba blessing Jyoti Ma blessed by the all of your donor also. So always says we prefer stay long health and all the grow up grandchildren and ancient people also be blessed for them. So we are happy to see the Jodiman Sara Prema also. So that is Venkatesh going to bless for all of your groups, also for Jodiman and Prema. He's here.
Yes, Venkatesh, we met. He was one of the first
So yes,
sadhus that
namaste.
we met. And we met him in Mother.
So he says, he's friends. You are all of your friends, and you going to be stay long life with good health, and be blessed for that to our groups of the Hari Baba, Ya Sang, blessing for all of your friends. So soon we go make our pilgrimage in USA. So thanks for all of your those also help hearing sadhus. So very soon going to be more stage in India. We going to get all our friends in all some in India. So there is many on the line. So we will go to the Shiva and Krishna what they want to say. Thank you, Jyoti Ma.
Thank you, Mani. We can hear you, but there's a little bit of a delay and a little bit of an interruption. So we have to take time in between speaking. I want to tell our guests, if you have any questions for Venkatesh or Mani, you can please put your questions in the chat, and then Daniel will be facilitating the passing on of your questions. Mani, can you ask Venkatesh to tell us a little bit about how he became a sadhu and what his life is like as a sadhu?
Life pretty என்ன பண்ணுறாங்க
இப்போ நடக்கிற தினமும் போய் சுவாமி வழிபடுறதும் வேண்டவர்களுக்கு உப செய்வதும் இதே வேலை செய்து ஆமா இல்லாதவங்களுக்கு என்ற உதவி செஞ்சுட்டு இருக்கிறேன் இப்போ.
So he used to for every day to the temple and he pray for those who've been belong to this.
அவங்களுக்கு சேர்த்து வேண்டிக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறேன்.
So he pray for all the sadhus also going for a temple, and he pray to those are who in the world have a good life. So like there are people, so like Jyoti Ma and Jyoti Ma friends and like donors also. Hello. அவங்க லைன்ல சொல்லுவா அவங்க வாங்க அப்படி லைன்ல வாங்க சிவா அவங்க லைன் சிவா லைன்ல yeah there is a Murugan coming in line the video call so
coming.
Yeah, so I told him press the button. So I think he's going to be connecting with us. So
very good.
Sorry, அங்க போனா கூட கிளியரா கேக்குது அந்த பொம்பளை கேக்குற வாக்க ஆமா போலாமா சிவா அப்படியே அங்க போலாம்
Okay, Is that
அவங்க சொல்றது
Shalini?
வாய்ஸ் ஓப்பன் ஆகலையா? ஏன் தெரியுமா? லைன் அவங்க அப்படியே ஒரு yeah, did you see the Murugan, Jyoti Ma?
Can't see him yet.
But I don't know why he's coming in my line. He say he couldn't hear me my sound, the Murugan, because he stay the villages, so he couldn't get the connectivity.
Right. Well,
Yeah,
he's on the phone.
he's coming in.
Coming into the meeting, the Zoom meeting.
I told him just push the button. So the Venkatesh is going to be every day more to the temple, pray for all of the sadhus, like and he need always supporting from Jyoti Mas and all your help donors also. Those are sadhus. Pray for your groups, Sri Hari Baba Yatra groups. He is blessing for those temples, Tiruvannamalai, Madurai, Meenakshi temple. So those are some sadhus without any place to stay and food and other things. So what it's possible, they're going to something also. The Venkatesh like to say Jyoti Ma.
Mani, can you please ask Venkatesh to tell us about what it's like to
Yes.
be sadhu?
Yeah.
Can he tell us about his life as a sadhu?
Yeah.
And how old was he when he became a sadhu?
நீங்க எப்ப சாதுவா இது பண்ணீங்க?
நான் சாதுவா 34 வருஷம் ஆகுது.
So in coming as a sadhu 4 years. எதுக்காக வந்தீங்க?
எதுக்காக எல்லாம் என்னுடைய கடமைகளை எடுத்து நான் எந்த ஆன்மீகத்தில் இறங்கிட்டேன்.
So he like to be the followed by the Shiva Yatras. So he past 34 years savas for the Shiva temples. So he been 34 years as been he's a Murugan and Shiva favorite sadhu. Tiruchendur temple. Been 5 years of Murugan.
Long time. So he travels around. He makes pilgrimage to all of the Shiva temples. Is that right? He goes on a lot of pilgrimage.
Yes, Jyoti Ma. இதுல வந்துட்டீங்களா?
ஆமா, என்னுடைய இதுல போறாம எல்லாம் முடிச்சோன்னு. ஆமா.
Yeah, he done what he can do. So he didn't want to be stay normal person. So he want to be coming decided by himself, coming to be the just sadhu way. So he study about the sadhus, how we can stay the temple, how do we worship, how to be pure white, like a Ramanas and everything. He want to be the walking by yatra, sadhu yatra, even all India temple by walking.
I would like to ask Venkatesh, what is the spiritual significance of yatra? Yatra is the word that they use in Sanskrit for pilgrimage. Can he talk a little bit about the spiritual aspect of yatra?
Sounds. I could hear your sound, Surima.
Sound is not too good.
யாத்திரை பணி எப்படி இருக்கு அப்படின்றாங்க. ஹார்டா இருக்கா?
ஒன்றும் கிடையாது. இறைவனுடைய நினைப்பு இருந்தாலே எல்லாமே ஈஸி.
So what he's trying to say, when you always pray to the God and Goddess, it's not so hard to be follow the sadhu life. So it will take you more deep and it showing you more white purities. So he says it's easy life. So it's one of the best way to be do the favor, to help to the others and watch them, and that feeling you can get, it's So his experience says, I'm always happy to help others and I watch them. So I really like the yatras of sadhus. Thank you, Jyoti Ma.
Can you put Venkatesh in the camera too? Thank you. Very good.
Yeah.
Okay, Mani, when we take pilgrimage, this is a question for Venkatesh. When we take pilgrimage, how does that help us spiritually?
உங்களோட தங்குற வசதி இதெல்லாம் எப்படி இருக்கு?
உங்களோட வசதிகளும் கொஞ்சம் சுமாராக தான் இருக்குது.
சுமாராக தான் இருக்கு.
ரொம்ப சுமார். ஆனால் அதையும் நாங்கள் மகிழ்ச்சியாக ஏற்றுக்கிட்டு எல்லா சேவைகளும் செஞ்சுட்டு வரோம்.
எல்லா சேவையும் பண்ணுறீங்க?
ஆமாம்.
ஸோ வாட் ஹீஸ் இஸ் அவர்
அதான் பண்ணியிருக்கிறோம்.
So wherever he stays by the on the street also, that's our own house, own spiritual place. So wherever they go, they feel that's our holy spot. So he says spiritual life is very happy.
Yes.
Venkatesh, I want to know also,
So I couldn't hear your sounds, Jyoti Ma.
The connection between yatra and the earth. How do sadhus think about the earth from place to place?
The connection
Between yatra and the earth. All these places they go are holy places on the earth. So how does that fit into our way of understanding pilgrimage?
Yeah. உங்களோட உங்களோட யாத்திரையோட வழிமுறைகள் பண்றதுன்னு கேக்குறாங்க.
அதனுடைய வழிமுறைகள்லாம் எப்படி சொல்றீங்க?
எப்படின்னா எப்படி பயணம் கேக்குறாங்க.
எல்லாமே வாக்கிங்.
சரி.
ஆமா. முடியாத பட்சத்துல டிராவலிங் இது பண்ணிக்கிறோம். அந்த இது இப்போ அந்த செய்ய முடியாது.
So he couldn't passing more to yatras because of the lockdown. So just stay nearby the temples where he lives. He just passing there by walking from the temple. So in future maybe he's going to be out of, will be open it. He's going to be Tafel temple by walking to pray. Also for Jyoti Ma and also a group of teams. Prema, Joshi, and all of your donors also. He says he's going to worship for all of you also by walking to the Safal temple.
20 கிலோமீட்டர் டெம்பிள் போறாம எல்லாமே போயிட்டு வந்துட்டு இருக்கிறோம். ஆமா.
So what he says is just by walking to 2 kilometer, 10 kilometer, 8 kilometer, he is going to by walk. So in future he is going to be around 130 kilometer, 170 kilometers, different temples. He is going to worship for all of our pilgrimage yatras, Sanka.
Thank you, Venkatesh. I want to ask our guests to put any questions you want to ask Venkatesh. You can put your questions in the chat for him. Once we met up with Venkatesh, then he became the leader, the sadhu leader, and he traveled all around Tamil Nadu with us and talked to the other sadhus about the pilgrimage to North America. He's a very, very beautiful being, and I'm really happy for all of you to meet him today. Let's take a moment and go to Krishnaveni and Siva. We're going to talk to Krishnaveni and Siva now, and we're going to leave Mani on unmute so that you can translate for Krishnaveni and Siva. So let me introduce you to them. We first arrived in Tiruvannamalai, which is a very holy place, very famous town. because of the sacred mountain there. And so we met Shiva there and Krishnaveni. Krishnaveni has an ashram there, and Shiva helps her with the ashram.
Yes, yes.
So happy to see you. And Shiva and Krishnaveni have been feeding hundreds and hundreds of sadhus every day from her small ashram kitchen. They've been taking food to the temple, they take food over to the holy mountain. They've been feeding so many people. And we're really, really happy to have you with us today. Thank you so much for joining.
Okay, thank you, Jyoti Ma. Thank you. Thank you, Jyoti. And every blessing from Arunachaleshwara to you. Temple Om Namah Shivaya. Temple.
Oh, there's a Arunachaleshwara temple.
Temple, yes, Arunachaleshwara temple. Yes. And yes. Om Namah Shivaya. Yeah.
Can you tell us a little bit about Tiruvannamalai and the holy mountain?
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes. This is Tiruvannamalai, the place of fire. Here Shiva is in fire. The structure is fire. And who is coming here, they will get holy life and health and wealth in Tiruvannamalai. And we are blessing out to you, Jyoti Ma. You must be very health and wealth because you are helping the sadhus in Tiruvannamalai and most over India. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Let's see, Krishnaveni. Can you ask Krishnaveni to tell us about all the people that you're feeding there? How is it going with the ashram, and how is it going with feeding all the people?
Nice.
Jyoti Ma, nice.
And he is telling that it's going very nice, and with your helping and blessing, it's going very nice, Jyoti Ma. Yes. And she is blessing you also. Every people in US. Okay. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Okay.
Shiva, because people don't know too much about the sadhu life.
Yes, the Tiruvannamalai.
Yes. Can you hear me?
Yes. Now I can hear you.
Okay. I'm going to ask you a question.
Yes.
I would like to ask Krishnaveni, what is it like to be a woman sadhvi?
What's the question? Can you hear me?
Put her on the video so we can see Krishnaveni.
Okay.
My question,
now you can see Krishnaveni.
I would like her to talk about being a sadhvi. What is it like to be a sadhvi, a woman sadhvi among all the men sadhus?
Yes, she is willing to service the poor people and sadhus in Tiruvannamalai. This is his ambition, lifelong ambition. Okay, can you hear?
Yes, I can hear.
Yes, this is the Krishnaveni's ambition, to helping the poor and sadhus.
And what made her decide to become a sadhvi?
He's worshipping Lord Shiva.
Ask her.
She is worshipping Lord Shiva, so she is more and more. What we say, he's committed to him. His life is sacrificed to Shiva. Okay, can hear? Jyoti Ma?
Yes, I hear you.
Yes.
So she sacrificed her life to Lord Shiva because she loves Lord Shiva.
She likes very much. We cannot tell how much. Okay, and here next he is Konar Sadhu in Tiruvannamalai. He is also long time living here with us, and doing the seva.
நீங்க நல்லா இருக்கணும்னு அவங்க விண்ணப்பம் வைக்கிறாரு.
Yes, this Kumar Sadhu.
Very nice.
Here? Yes. Any more question, Jyoti Ma?
Do we, anyone have a question for Krishnaveni?
Yes.
I would like to see, what does Krishnaveni want to tell our guests today about what's going on there in Tiruvannamalai? What would she like to say to our guests?
என்ன சொல்ல விரும்புறேன்?
நானா
திருவண்ணாமலை என்ன நடந்துட்டு இருக்குன்னு சொல்ல விரும்புறேன்.
கோயில் எல்லாம் திறந்துட்டாங்க. கோயில் எல்லாம் திறந்துட்டாங்க. சுவாமி தரிசனத்துக்கு எல்லாம் வர்றாங்க. சாதுக்களுக்கெல்லாம் வந்து நிறைய இங்க வந்துட்டாங்க. அவங்களுக்கு உணவு தான் நல்லா கொடுக்கணும். அதுக்காண்டி ஹெல்ப் பண்ணணும். நீங்க எல்லாம் தீர்க்க ஆயுளோட இருக்கணும்னு அண்ணாமலையார்கிட்ட வந்து சுந்தரர் குடில் சார்பா வந்து எல்லா சாதுக்களும் டெய்லி விண்ணப்பம் வச்சிட்டு இருக்காங்க. அவங்களுக்கு முடிஞ்ச உதவி பண்ணணும். நீங்க நீண்ட ஆயுளோட இருக்கணும்.
And she is telling that in Tiruvannamalai the temple are open and every sadhus are here to coming to Annamalai, and she wills to make more and more help to sadhus. So you all people must help us, and you also be and Jyoti Ma and Sri Hari Baba, everyone to be live with pleasant life. Yes, who are helping in USA, who are helping. Everyone must be live in peaceful life with the blessing of God of Arunachaleshwara, and this is the Krishnaveni's. Yes, tell. Now can hear Jyoti Ma?
சீக்கிரம் உங்களை பார்க்கணும் போல இருக்கு.
Yes.
உங்களை பார்க்கணும் போல இருக்கு. சீக்கிரம் வரணும்னு சொல்லு.
கேட்க மாட்டேங்குது.
What did she say?
உங்களை பார்க்கணும். எப்போ வரீங்க?
I just want to remind all of our guests, if you have any questions, please put them in the chat so we can get your questions answered by the sadhus and by our lovely sadhvi Krishnaveni.
Yes.
Thank you all so much. You're feeding so many people.
Yes. She's feeding so many people.
Let's see. I want to know about what is. Oh, she's asking when is Jyoti Ma going to visit? Well.
Yes. She's asking. Yes, she's asking when Jyoti Ma is coming here too.
Thank you, Manoj, for translating. We are going to come as soon as they let us travel. Right now, Americans can't travel too much, and India is not letting anyone come in right now. So
it's because of the disease. Okay.
As the situation changes,
yes,
and we can travel again, we'll be back.
Okay. We are all praying to come back. Okay, we are all praying to come back here, Jyoti Ma, to Tiruvannamalai.
எப்போ வரீங்கன்னு கேக்குறாங்க. கிருஷ்ணவேணின்னு சொல்லு.
My sister Krishnaveni.
Yeah.
Tell her for me that.
எப்போ வரீங்க? சிவாய நம.
Little problem. Sound. It's not hearing. It's not hearing, Jyoti Ma.
Please tell her.
வாமா டக்குன்னு வாமா நீ.
Yes, Jyoti Ma.
அம்மா ஜோதி மா சிவாய நம. அம்மா ஹரியோ.
Om Namah Shivaya. And she is also doing the service of medicine to sadhus. Yes.
Nice to meet you.
Name. Yes, she is doing very service to by medicines to sadhus.
Good.
Who is poor people. Okay, and friend of Krishnaveni. Yes. Okay, Jyoti Ma.
It's an amazing and beautiful holy service that you're doing for all the
yeah.
And this is Krishnaveni. She's always such a being.
Yes.
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 Beautiful. Thank you so much for everything you're doing. I want to tell you, Krishnaveni goes in her kitchen, in her little kitchen, in her ashram every day, and she makes a huge amount of food and she takes it out and feeds people. And we've been, with the help of our supporters, we've been sending donations to her. So sadhus at your meeting, you're feeding so many sadhus. And in the chat, Danielle's going to give you the link for the GoFundMe where you can make a donation to Krishnaveni's mission. You can send money also. It goes out to many other sadhus. We weren't able to get them all on the call today. But please remember to donate and support their cause. And you can also sponsor any sadhu that you want. We have a total of 40 sadhus coming on the pilgrimage. Some are in sanghas, and that means groups of sadhus. But all of them are, really serving and doing so much self-sacrifice and service and taking care of as many people as they can. Their prayers and their pilgrimage are healing the earth and creating a whole, acknowledging the holy matrix of the earth. And we really, really appreciate your support. Anything you can give helps. And you can also sponsor a sadhvi or a sadhu. We're going to have more of these live streams with the sadhus coming up in a few more weeks. We're going to do it again, and we're going to have even more sadhus with us. And sadhvis. Mani just met a new sadhvi today. So please ask any questions. You have a chance now to speak directly to the sadhus. And put your questions in the chat and we'll ask them of the sadhus. Shiva.
Yes.
Tower கிடைக்க மாட்டீங்களா?
Hello, Jyoti Ma?
மாடு பை வெயிட்டா இருக்கு. அப்படி இருக்குப்பா. கொஞ்சம் தள்ளி வைக்கிறேன். நெட்டு அப்படியா? ஆமா, 2500 அன்னைக்கு சொன்ன வாங்கினேன். அம்மா தான் காசு அனுப்பி நாங்க வாங்கினோம். இப்படி பேசுறாங்க. ஆமா, நேற்று இருந்தா கொஞ்சம் நல்லா. ஆமா, அதான் சொன்னேன் நாங்க இங்க கம்பெனிலேயே போய் வாங்கினோமா அப்படின்னு. போட இது இல்ல.
Well, I think Jyoti Ma had a little bit of an issue with her video stream, but I want to summarize a couple of things that I heard. First with Venkatesh. Venkatesh, he was saying that, of course, as we heard, he loves to do the padayatra to the different temples. But I heard Mani saying that he also likes to do the seva at the temples. And I can tell you that when we have been around Venkatesh, he definitely helped us and did a lot of seva. He's, as we said, he's the leader for the sadhus in Tamil Nadu. And he came around with us on all of our journeys for almost several months, I felt like, overall. And he definitely does seva. He helped us so much, and he's a profound blessing. So he embodies seva, I feel. And as I wrote in the chat there, his favorite temple is Tiruchendur, one of the 6 holy temples of Lord Muruga. So that I wanted to summarize. And then something that I heard Shiva say was that Krishnaveni not only is devoted to Lord Shiva, but that Lord Shiva comes to her, that he is coming to her, I heard him say. And so that's something that is talked about in the Siddha practice quite a bit, to connect with Shiva, to receive the presence or the blessing directly of Lord Shiva through your practice. I feel very strongly that her seva is so strong in feeding all of the sadhus at their ashram. We did that live stream from their ashram in Tamil Nadu at Tiruvannamalai back last November, and we got to look around the ashram, and it's a humble place, and there are many beautiful sadhus that come through there, and all of the donations that have been given so far have helped those sadhus to continue to do their sadhana and to be the blessing presence that they are. But Krishnaveni definitely, you know, not only has that strong sadhana towards with Shiva, but also I really feel that she certainly is receiving the blessings of Lord Shiva regularly. So I wanted to convey that because I wasn't sure if it was totally clear. But now we have Jyoti Ma back on the live stream. Glad you got that. Here we go. That's a great question.
Yeah, let's see if anyone else has questions. We
have Randy. Randy has a question. Randy asked, do sadhus have students, devotees who go on pilgrimage with them?
Let's ask Venkatesh, because he goes on pilgrimage a lot. Mani, can you unmute, please? Can you please, Venkatesh, one of our viewers has a question for Venkatesh. He wants to know if sadhus have any devotees or students pilgrimage with them. So does anyone ever go on pilgrimage with Venkatesh? Does he have any chelas or devotees? Can you hear me, Mani?
Yeah. Please, you can just tell me again. I can hear you. There is a coming call. So just tell me.
The question is for Venkatesh. Yes. Does he have any devotees or students who go with him on pilgrimage?
Thank you, Jyoti Ma. உங்களோட யாராச்சும் டிவோட்டிஸ் கூட வர்ற மாதிரி இருக்காங்களா பிலிகிரிமேஜ்?
ஒருத்தர் மட்டும் வர்றாரு.
ஒருத்தர் மட்டும் வர்றாரு.
ஒருவர் மட்டும் என் கூட.
உங்க கூட வர்றாரு.
ஆமா ஆமா.
Yes, Jyoti Ma, there will be some other devotees coming with Venkatesh to also with us pilgrimage.
அவர் இன்னைக்கு ஒரு சாது பூஜையில கலந்து போயிருக்கிறாரு. அதனால அவரால இன்னைக்கு வர முடியலங்க.
So the one of the devotees went to the place nearby one temple. She couldn't join today with us. So he like to come in with us our pilgrimage also to do the sevas. Thank you, Jyoti Ma.
Okay. I want to ask a kind of a similar question to him, and that is, what about gurus? People have asked before, does Venkatesh have a guru, or should we have a guru, or who is the best guru?
உங்களோட குரு யார் இருக்காங்களா?
எங்களுக்கு குருன்னு ஒருத்தர் கிடையாது. ஆனா எனக்கு டீச்சர் பண்ணவர் வந்து ராமானந்த சுவாமிகள்னு இருக்கிறாரு. ஆமா.
Venkatesh didn't have any guru, but he had a teacher of the Ramananda Swami.
Ramananda Swamigal for Viluppuram.
Nearby the Viluppuram, he studied the ashram in there. Ramananda Swamigal. They had an ashram there. He been there, study about the sadhu's life. So he didn't have any guru.
But he had someone who taught him about sadhu life. I remember one.
காட்டியும் பேசிருக்கீங்களா அதை பத்தி?
இந்த மாதிரி பிலிகிரிமை பத்தி தானே? நிறைய பேர்ட்ட நான் பேசியிருக்கிறேன். ஆமா, அவங்களுக்கு ஒரு நல்ல ஒரு வாய்ப்புன்னு சொல்லியிருக்கிறாங்க. ஆமா, இது உங்களோட போனீங்கன்னா இன்னும் நிறைய பேர்ட்ட நம்ம சேவை செய்யறத பூரா நம்மளும் அவங்கள்ட்ட சொல்லி கொடுக்கலாம். அவங்கள்ட்ட இருந்து இன்னும் நிறைய நம்ம கத்துக்கிட்டு வரலாம். ஆமா, அப்படிப்பட்ட இடங்கள்ல போய் நம்ம கலடி எடுத்து வைக்கிறது நம்ம ஒரு புண்ணிய ஸ்தலமா ஆகி போகுது. சரி. ஆமா, இங்க எப்படி ஒரு கைலாயமோ அதே மாதிரி இன்னொரு லாயத்தை நேசிக்கிறோம்னு சொல்றாங்க. உங்களுக்கு அந்த பாக்கியம் கொடுத்து வச்சிருக்கேன்னு தாராளமா போகலாம் அப்படின்னு சொல்றேன்.
சரி.
எல்லாத்துலாம் அதான் சொல்லிருப்போம்.
So was try to say Ma, the school it's not for people it's easy, but it's really for the spiritual life to the seva sankas others. So he's really have to do been passing by the yatra of sadhu life.
Yes.
So he's happy to be joined with us in our pilgrimage. So those are the supporting for us. He says, I bless for all of them. And we like to be whole life, to be a sadhu life.
Thank you, Mani. Do we have any
Okay,
other
Jyoti Ma.
questions for Venkatesh? He just
Yeah.
shared a very important information. I don't know if everyone's aware, but the man that he studied with is quite a famous siddha in Tamil Nadu and quite renowned saint. I like the focus that they have on Siva, which is doing service. And right now, the greatest
Stop.
is to provide them with some support for their food and housing needs right now. Any other questions for our sadhus?
I couldn't get a clear sound, Jyoti Ma.
I
You
was
hear
just
me now?
Yes, I can hear you.
Yeah. So I hear you also now. Yeah. Tell me, Jyoti Ma.
I had one more question for Venkatesh. When we were last together,
Yes, Jyoti Ma.
I had someone asked him, you know, do we need a guru? And he said something very profound about how our only guru is Shiva. Can you talk a little bit about the relationship with Shiva? How he gets an inner connection to Shiva?
உங்களோட குருன்றத கேக்குறாங்க. யார் இப்ப அவங்களுக்கு குரு இருக்காங்க, அவங்களுக்கு குரு இல்லை அப்படின்னு.
எங்களுடைய குரு அவங்க
இனிமேல் இவங்க ஸ்ரீ ஹரிபாபா குருக்கு தான் குருவா.
இன்னும் அவங்க தான் குருவாகிறாங்க எங்களுக்கு. ஆமா, இன்னும் அங்க போனதுக்கு அப்புறம் அவங்க தான் எனக்கு குரு. இன்னும் லைஃப் ஃபுல்லாமே அவங்களா தான் எனக்கு குருவா இருக்க போறாங்க. ஆமா, இன்னும் அவங்கள தான் நான் குருவா நினைச்சு இந்நாள் வரைக்கும், இப்போ உங்களை பார்த்த நாள்ல இருந்து இந்நாள் வரைக்கும் ஹரி பாபாவை நினைச்சுதான், அந்த குருவா நினைச்சுதான் நான் இப்ப எல்லாம் விட்டுக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறேன். சரி, அவங்க நினைச்ச எல்லா சேவைகளும் செஞ்சுக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறேன் இப்போ. சரி, ஆமா.
So, Jyoti Ma, could you hear me, Jyoti Ma? Yeah. What the Venkatesh says, there are several sadhus in India, and everybody had a own guru. But when I seen Sri Hari Baba face and Jyoti Ma face, so he's feeling now Sri Hari Baba he's going to take as a guru. So he's going to follow to be Sri Hari Baba, keeping in mind the guru, and whatever he want to do the sevas, and he's following Sri Hari Baba yatras now. He say he's going to keep his heart to the Sri Hari Baba guru. So he decided to be guru on Sri Hari Baba now.
So beautiful. That's so beautiful. He's a very special siddha. Thank you. Does Venkatesh have any they can get a stronger relationship with Shiva?
ஏதோ சிவனோட ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் வச்சு சிவனோட ரிலேஷன்ஷிப் ஏதோ
தியானத்துல உட்காரும் போது அவரே ஒரு சொல்ற மாதிரி எனக்கு ஒரு எண்ணங்கள் உண்டு.
கிடைக்க மாட்டேங்குது. So what he says, sitting on a meditation to pray to the Shiva, he feel he's standing in front of his face. So he feel that. So he had some connecting with the Shiva. He says that.
Thank you, Venkatesh. We have a question for Krishna.
டெம்பிளோட அங்க நிக்கிற இடத்துல இன்னும் கொஞ்சம் நல்லா இருக்கும்.
Yeah. So what says stay in a dhyana mantapa meditation hall, so more energies the Shivas.
Sit and talk to Shiva and meditate. Very good.
Yeah.
I'm going to go to Krishnaveni now because we have a question for Krishnaveni.
முடிச்சிட்டு கூப்பிடுறோம். சிவாயநாமா. சிவாயநாமா. கையில வேற வச்சு வந்துட்டாரு. நீங்க
இங்க வாங்க.
Krishnaveni.
I have a question for Krishnaveni.
Yes, ask ma. Jyoti Ma.
வாமா இங்க.
Jyoti Ma.
சூப்பர். வேற இது கையில வச்சு. correct.
Okay. So Shiva,
yes.
one of our guests has a question for Krishnaveni, which
yes,
is
tell
us about the sadhus who come to the ashram for food and to have a place to be. Can she tell us a little bit about the sadhus that she's helping?
Yes. I cannot get clear your question. Please once more, ma.
Okay, I'll ask again. There's a question for Krishnaveni. The question is, can she please tell us a little bit about the sadhus that come to her ashram?
Yes. என்ன கேக்குறாங்கன்னா உங்க ஆசிரமத்துக்கு வர சாதுக்களை பத்தி கொஞ்சம் சொல்ல முடியுமான்னு கேக்குறாங்க. சொல்லி எதனா சொல்லு.
சிவாயனமா. நம்ம ஆசிரமத்துக்கு வர சாதுக்கள் வந்து அவங்களுக்கு உணவு கொடுக்குறோம். அவங்களுக்கு வந்து உடம்புக்கு முடியல அப்படின்னா நம்மளால முடிஞ்ச ஹெல்ப் எல்லாம் அவங்களுக்கு மருந்து மாத்திரை ஊசி போடுறதுக்கு அது கொடுக்குறோம். அப்புறம் அவங்களுக்கு வந்து இப்போ மழை காலம்னால பெட்ஷீட்டு கொடுக்குறோம். பாத்திரம் உணவு சாப்பிட்றதுக்காண்டி பாத்திரம் கொடுத்தோம். நம்ம இன்னும் வந்து நிறைய பண்ணணும்னு நினைச்சிட்டு இருக்கோம். அம்மாவோட ஹெல்ப் எல்லாம் வேணும் எங்களுக்கு, உங்களோட ஆசீர்வாதம் ஹெல்ப் எங்களுக்கு வேணும் அப்படின்னு நாங்க சொல்றோம்.
Okay. She is telling that those who come to the sadhus to our ashram, she is helping by food, cloth, and giving medicines. When they are coming to sick, she is giving medicines and protecting them. And they are also very nice to our ashram in Tiruvannamalai. And everything, she is giving every accommodation and food to the sadhus. Clear, ma? Yes. And she is helping to the sadhus by medicines, siddha medicines. Yes. Can you hear, Jyoti Ma?
Yes, that's very good. Thank you. That's very good.
And she's also joining our ashram, and she is also joining in our ashram and doing the help to the sadhus by medicines. And he's the in charge of the sadhus in Tiruvannamalai, and getting to us in our ashrams when they are sick, and if any help they will ask to hear him, and he will bring them to our ashram. Okay, ma? Clear, ma?
Very good. That's very good, Shiva.
Yes.
Thank you. Also, there's a question for Krishnaveni.
Yes.
How many sadhus are coming to her ashram?
எத்தனை பேர் வராங்கன்னு கேக்குறாங்க. More than 15.
60 பேர்.
There's coming 15. More than 15. Can ask? Clear now?
More than 50. 50 a day.
50. Yes. We are giving food more than 50 per day.
More than 50 a day are coming.
Yes.
And we're giving them food, and also if they're sick.
Yes.
Is the medicine...
by sick, when they are getting sick, they are coming 1, 2, or like when they are sick, they are coming there and getting the medicines and the helps. Any more question, ma?
Yes. Are you giving them any siddha medicine?
Siddha medicines, and she is doing that siddha medicine.
Siddha medicine.
And Namachava, he is doing the siddha medicines.
Very good.
Yes.
Free. Can she tell us a little bit about siddha medicine?
எதனா மெடிசனை பத்தி சொல்ல முடியுமா? சொல்லுங்க. ஏதோ சொல்லுங்க. ட்ரான்ஸ்லேட் பண்ணுங்க. செடி பேர் வேணாம், வேற என்ன
பச்சை
சொல்லணும்?
மருந்துன்னு சொல்லுமா. அது பச்சை மருந்துப்பா. அப்புறம் இந்த green leaves.
He is doing sitta green leaves medicine for eyes.
இளநீர் குழம்பு.
Can you hear? Can you see him?
இளநீர் குழம்புமா.
சொல்லுங்க.
ஹலோ.
இளநீர் குழம்பு.
இளநீர் குழம்பு and legia full medicines.
Yes.
That's really great. Siddha medicine.
Yes.
Is very,
she is doing very well. Searching the leaves and in the forest and coming and making the medicines by own.
நம்ம ஆசிரமத்துக்கே வந்து தருவாங்க சொல்லு. சுந்தரர் குடிலுக்கு வந்து தராங்கன்னு சொல்லு.
Yes. Can you hear?
Yes, very good. Thank you so much.
Okay. Okay, ma. Okay.
So she's making the medicine herself.
Yes. Doing by our. She is also in our ashram.
Very good. That's very nice.
Yes.
I'm very happy that you're helping so many people. What else do you
And
need
more,
for the? Can Krishna
and more, we must all, not only Krishnaveni, by Jyoti Ma and Hari Baba, everyone, we must help the sadhus in your control also, okay? And we are also want to come to there and to see you. Okay, ma?
Yes. Tell me, can Krishna?
Yes. Now it's not clear. It's not the clear line. Line is not clear.
Wants to come to the pilgrimage in America, yes?
Yes, yes.
அங்க வைக்க சொல்ல அப்பா அங்க கீழ வைப்பா.
கீழ வைக்க.
Can you hear?
Yes, are there any other questions from our guests about Krishnaveni's ashram, or for Venkatesh, who makes pilgrimage everywhere? It's very, very nice that they're using traditional Siddha medicine to help people that are sick who come to the ashram. Krishnaveni saying she very much wants to come to the pilgrimage in America. That's going to happen. We will make it happen. In the meantime, we really need to support these sadhus. Krishnaveni is feeding more than 50 people every day coming to her ashram. She's taking food out to the streets in front of the temple, feeding hundreds of people. I'm sure you've seen her videos. If you haven't, you can connect with our Enlightened Life Festival page on Facebook. We also have a pilgrimage group on Facebook that you can join. We post a lot of videos of Krishnaveni feeding people. Shiva's always supporting her, helping her, taking videos and sending them to us. And it's a beautiful mission. Don't forget, you can donate. We can put that link in the chat again. And also you can visit our... You can also choose to sponsor Krishnaveni and give us a donation every month. We have a subscription that you can sign up for to make sure that she receives ongoing support. It's really hard because with the temples closed, it's just very tough. Okay, Shiva, we have another question for Krishnaveni.
Yes, ask ma. Yes, ask Jyoti Ma.
Okay, the question is, does Krishnaveni have anything she wants to share that she would like us to know?
Yes, about what?
Yes, about anything. What would she most like to share with our guests?
என்ன ஷேர் பண்ண விரும்புறோம் உங்களுக்கு?
அதுதான் அவங்க நல்லா இருக்கணும்னு ஷேர் பண்ணனும்.
And she want to share that everyone in this pilgrims and who are helping to sadhus must be blessed by Arunachaleshwara and Sundarar. The Sundarar who is the friend of Shiva. They both are blessing them, and Jyoti Ma also, and Sri Sri Hari Baba. This is our message. Okay, Jyoti Ma?
Okay, thank you. Does everyone understand that? Do you want to ask a follow-up question? Please put it in the chat. Now, we're going to come back to you in a minute, Shiva, but someone has a question for Venkatesh. So we're going to go to Venkatesh
okay.
for the next. Okay.
ரொம்ப பிடிச்சிருக்கு.
சொல்லிட்டான்.
டவர் கிடைக்கல
So,
போயிட்டாங்க.
Mani, we have another question for Venkatesh.
பச்சை கலர் மூணுமே பச்சை கலர்.
மூணு பச்சை கலர். அந்த பக்கம் எங்கிட்ட பாருங்க. அங்கிட்ட வேணா வைங்க.
Yes, Jyoti Ma.
Okay, the question for Venkatesh is the same one that was just asked of Krishnaveni. People want to know, is there anything he would like to share with our guests? Any special advice or anything he wants to share with the people who are with us today?
I couldn't clearly hearing you, Jyoti Ma. So just let me explain once more.
I'll say it again. The question for Venkatesh, what would he like to share?
Yes, Venkatesh.
What would he like to share with people? He had told me one time before that he also wants to feed people in Madurai. But what does he want to share with our viewers right now? What would he like them to know?
So நீங்க மதுரையில அன்னதானம் பண்ணணும்னு சொன்னீங்க.
ஆமா,
விநியோகம் பண்ணணும்னு சொல்லி, ஃபீடிங் பண்ணணும் அப்படின்னு சொல்லி.
ஆமா, இன்னைக்கு கூட பண்ணிட்டு தான் வந்திருக்கிறேன்.
அதை பத்தி உங்களோட கருத்து என்ன கேக்குறாங்க? என்ன எப்படி பண்ணணும்னு ஆசைப்படுறீங்க கேக்குறாங்க.
அதாவது ஹரிஹர பாபாவை பேரை சொல்லி இன்னைக்கு ஒரு 40 பேருக்கு அன்னதானம் கொடுத்துட்டு வந்திருக்கிறேன் இன்னைக்கு.
சரி.
ஆமா,
சரி.
அவருடைய புகழ் எங்கே எல்லா இடத்துலயும் வரணுங்கிறதுக்காகவும், அவரோட பேரை சொல்லி பல மக்கள் இன்னும் வாழ வேண்டுங்கிறதுக்காகவும், எல்லா விதமான நோய் நொடி இல்லாமல் இவங்களோட வாழ்த்துக்களோட எல்லாம் நடக்கணும்னு நான் அதோட தான் நடத்திக்கிட்டு இருக்கிறேன்.
Right. So Jyoti Ma, what he tried to explain for your question, he says he liked feeding the food and he want to keep to grow up to show the people to Sri Hari Baba groups feeding the food. So he want to follow the way of that. So he want to put the banner nearby the Murugan temple, Sri Hari Baba photos, and he like to feeding the food for the sadhus to get it 3 times food: morning, breakfast, little bit idli, dosa, Indian food, and what it is possible from his side, he can make a rice and others in the afternoon, and maybe evening he like to give banana and other things shortly with the milk, other things, and with the Sri Hari Baba way, he like to follow that, like Jyoti Ma and Prema doing. So he's like to say that to our Jyoti Ma. Thank you.
So he was basically saying that he would like to be a part of the Sangha of Sri Hari Baba that we have created here in India, and that on behalf of Sri Hari Baba, he would like to people outside the temple of Madurai. So Venkatesh recently received sponsorship for a room for a few months, and his sponsorship is soon running out. So we would like to get a new sponsor for Venkatesh. If you want to sponsor him, we have the links there in the chat for that. And also to help support his mission to start feeding people and sadhus outside of the Meenakshi temple, which is where they are right now, the beautiful Meenakshi temple, very famous goddess temple. She is an incarnation of Parvati, the consort of Shiva. She's the divine mother, the root feminine. And he wants to feed people there. And so we would need to give him support to do that. So thank you so much for sharing that, Venkatesh. We love you so much. Any other questions? Do people have more questions for the sadhus? They have a very interesting way of life and a very powerful understanding of the importance of holiness. I want to want to share with you, pilgrimage is one thing that has not yet come to North America. Remember, we've received so much from India, from Bharat, the holy motherland. We've received yoga, meditation, tantra, mantra, yantra, homa, puja. We've received all these practices that have nourished our spirits and souls here in America, that we have built on and grown and shared in our own way, so many people. And now we're going to receive the holy tradition of pilgrimage, which we have not had, which again, is very important to unifying us with the earth, moving from sacred place to sacred place. And that's what these holy indigenous people do. And so it's just a very important time right now to sustain them and nurture them so that they can come and bring us that next wave of consciousness and introduce this powerful bhakti tradition of pilgrimage to us. So please let's support them now in their time of need, because they're always supporting us, and by their holy movements, they're supporting Mother Earth as well. Do we have many more questions for our sadhus today? We still have Krishnaveni and Shiva there. I guess Palani was not able to join us. He couldn't get a good enough connection. We'll have him next time. Don't forget, we're going to do this gathering again, and we'll have even more sadhus with us next time. Mani has a meeting coming up tomorrow with another sadhvi there near Madurai. And he's going to invite her to join our pilgrimage as well. And we're really looking forward to meeting her. And he also is going to travel next week to Saturagiri to distribute some clothing and food and masks to the sadhus there. Saturagiri is a very holy town, a very holy place. It's a sacred mountain like Arunachala in Tiruvannamalai. And he is going to go there and connect with our sadhus over there and distribute some food and clothing to them. So Mani is working really hard. It's the first time he's going to take a trip. We have to all pray for his health and protection with the situation with the virus everywhere. And he's going to be taking some photos, and we're going to be sharing those to our Facebook page and to our crowdfunding page, and we'll also share it through our newsletter at enlightenedlifefest.com. You can sign up for our newsletter. Since you're on the live stream, you're on the live stream list, and that means that you'll get notice about when the next live stream will happen. So please invite your friends to join our live stream list so that we can have even more people introduced to these amazing holy people. Great, let's maybe go to Prema for a minute, and maybe Mani, you want to say something about your upcoming trip to Saturagiri?
Yeah. Jyoti Ma?
Can you tell us about the trip that you're going to take to Saturagiri this week?
Yes, Jyoti Ma. I'm going day after tomorrow to Saturagiri. So I received the money just now from the Joshi this afternoon. So I'm going to buy some kind of bed sheet for some poor sadhus there. And I think I'm going to buy some fruits, which is possible, like some apple, orange, or bananas. So I'm going to give the poor sadhus. And I like to see also the Sendil whale. Maybe I think I'm going to find him. So at the moment of day after tomorrow, dark moon, so there will be thousands of the sadhus coming to worship in Saturagiri. So I'm really happy to be on there day after tomorrow from our side, from the Jyoti Ma side. So I'm going to do these all feeding vegetable fruits on a bed sheet for all the sadhus, Jyoti Ma. Thank you.
Thank you, Mani. That's a lot of sadhus, thousands of sadhus gathering in Saturagiri for a holy pilgrimage to the sacred mountain there. And Mani's going to be there distributing food and clothing. If you can donate, please donate, because there's so many sadhus in need and saints in need over there. And you can be a part of this. You can be a part of the holy pilgrimage, and you can be a part of this, of the life of the sadhus. I want to say, once you connect with these holy beings, they live in your heart. And they just have so much love for everyone, and they give so many blessings. So yeah, it's really touching. We had a question about the cost of sponsorship for a room or a saint. Where can we learn more about that? You can get that information at the sponsorship link, but the way the sponsorship works is it's about $65 a month. We can provide a sadhu with a room and food and clothing and a mask and some money for their living expenses. So it's not a lot of money, but it goes a long way in India. And you can learn more about that also on our GoFundMe site about sponsorship. If you go to the link on sponsorship, you'll find, more information there and what we can provide with that. We also put that information in our newsletters, so please sign up for our newsletters. It doesn't take a lot. And even if you don't have $65 a month, if you give $50 a month or $40 a month, we can at least get them a room and use other donations to help supply food for them. The current need has come about because the temples have closed due to the COVID crisis and pilgrimage has been shut down. Usually the sadhus will go to the temples and give their blessings there to everyone who comes. And the people who go to the temple, when they come out from their darshan with the deity and they make their puja, they'll usually go straight to the sadhus to get their blessings, and then they'll donate money to them. But with the temples closed, it's not possible for them to be there. They haven't gotten any donations from the temples. Also, as Joshi was explaining, people in India are very affected. They're not able to work. The tourism industry is huge, and it's especially temple towns and pilgrimage towns. They depend on all the people coming for the festivals and the holy days. It's just not happening. It hasn't been happening since March. India has one of the longest lockdowns in the world, and their coronavirus rates are still on the rise. They're rapidly approaching the #1 position, now coming to the peak of that crisis. And even if they open some of the temples, they will not allow the sadhus to stay inside. Come in, the social distancing will be in place. They come in, they get the blessing of the deity, and then they have to go out again. So that's not going to help them very much, even if they do limited opening. Their lifestyle is also changed by no pilgrimage. Like Venkatesh is in Madurai. He is based out of Madurai. He used to go back to Madurai, but as he was explaining, he takes a Shiva Yatra pilgrimage all over India, but now he can't. He's in one place, and that's a new thing for them too. And they're not used to having to have a room, and how are they going to get their food? So we're helping them adapt to these changes. And I'm really grateful that you asked that question. Thank you. It's a big impact on their lifestyle. So these saints are very holy people, and we did have some very interesting information that came out from the questions from Venkatesh. So I'm going to let Prema talk about that a little bit, about his connection to Ramalinga Swami, Valalar, and the siddhas, and how the siddhas are connected to all of this. So let's switch to Prema.
Sure. I imagine many of the people on this call have been to India. I'm not sure who's been to Tamil Nadu, but some of the places that they're talking about, like Saturagiri, are legendary places known for being locations where the siddhas have done their practice for thousands of years. And so now there's a very famous pilgrimage site at the top of the mountain at Saturagiri, where you have to hike miles through the wilderness to get to the temple. There's no road. And there's a famous Shiva Lingam there that's said to have been installed by a famous immortal master siddha. And so, to connect this to kind of the yoga culture that we know in the West, if you're not familiar, there are all these groups of famous siddha masters, and one of them is Patanjali. And Patanjali and his Yoga Sutras, of course, are widely studied in America. But the connection for us comes through, for instance, Tiruvannamalai, a brother disciple. Tiruvannamalai and Patanjali were together as they had the same guru, the same teacher. So the Tirumantram and the Patanjali Yoga Sutras are coming from a very similar genesis. And you see a lot of these very ancient masters that were coming together in different localities. So Saturagiri is one of those places. And the shrines there are extremely powerful and very old. So there are other places, all of these temples that we're mentioning, if you haven't been there, you know, they're worth the pilgrimage if you're into any of the yoga culture, but especially, you know, the Shiva and the Skanda oriented Siddha traditions. You know, Patanjali Yoga Sutras are ultimately a Shiva tradition. So in terms of Ramalinga Swami, you know, I know that Adi is very familiar with Ramalinga Swami's life and practice. I appreciate it. I have definitely read about it. And, you know, if you don't know about Ramalinga or Valalar, he is probably the most modern example of someone creating the light body, where he created his physical body and turned it into light in front of people in a public setting in Tamil Nadu. So that happened just over in the late 1800s. So it's just been over a century. And it's pretty incredible because there are all these recent accounts of people witnessing him turning his physical body into light. So I know that there's been an inspiration for a lot of my friends, and especially for Adi. And it's a delight to hear that Venkatesh studies his life and sadhana. But these are the types of things where I hope that one day in America, we will have our own version of this type of culture, you know, that we will have pilgrimage sites, that we will have places where there will be famous practitioners who will inspire many to become illuminated. And when you go to these places, like when we went to Saturagiri, or if you go to any of these temples where many of the siddhas have frequented, you know, like the 6 famous Skanda temples are all associated with specific masters who are, you know, when we say siddha, it's a perfected being, right? It's very much like any of the other perfected beings. And there's crossover between traditions because a divine perfected being, you know, is beyond culture and craze and read and religion. So, you know, you see siddha masters like Gorakanath and Matsyendranath. They're in North India, they're in South India. Korakar and Machamuni are Matsyendranath and Gorakanath. And you see them as part of the 84 Mahasiddhas in Tibetan Buddhism. So, you know, these words, Buddhism and Siddha, and, you know, it crosses over between Japan and China and India and even Siberia and over towards even more other countries. So, you know, when you go to a powerful Siddha place and you feel the energy, it could be, you know, the place where Ramalinga turned his body into light. You know, it's so compelling, and it inspires that drive to practice and to become illuminated and to embody love like the masters do. And so all of these sadhus like Venkatesh, you know, and Krishnaveni and Shiva, the way that they live their life is definitely inspiring to me. But when you go to the pilgrimage sites that they're describing, like Saturagiri, it's probably, you know, one of the most incredible places. I hope to go back to Saturagiri again. You know, we met Sendivel there. Sendivel is a sadhu that we had hoped to get him on this call, but Sendivel is quite itinerant. He wanders a lot, and he has a very powerful Shakti, and we hope that we will be able to align it so that he can attend the Kumbh Mela of America. But Sendivel is usually there in the Saturagiri area. And Saturagiri is especially famous because of the alchemical masters that were there, like Boganath and Gorakanath. I learned that from Manikanda, who told me that the famous Navapashana Skanda Murti, the alchemical statue that's at Palani temple, is said to have been made by Boganath, the immortal master, and that it was actually made at Saturagiri. And there's a cave there called Goraka's cave. So it said that it was made there because there's all of these natural mineral deposits that are necessary to make the alchemical substances that form into this talismanic statue that we've frequented on our last trip to Palani. But the energy of those statues is so powerful, is like miracle. It's a miracle. And they pour the abhishekam, they pour the milk, the various substances, they put the sandalwood paste on the alchemical idol there at Palani. And it makes a prasad, it makes a holy blessing sacrament that you can consume. And I was able to consume some of that sacrament from the Palani Murugan alchemical statue. So that was a huge blessing. But to learn that it was made at Saturagiri was quite incredible, because you don't hear that even written by anyone who knows about this. So when the sadhus are living there, and I've heard from Manikanda and the sadhus that you can actually see rishis at Saturagiri. You can actually be on the pilgrimage route hiking, and that the masters can appear there. So this is very sacred and very rare, and I'm glad I get to share anything about it, because I'm really just a student I'm a seeker and I'm learning about these things, but it's very special. Thank you for letting me share about that. At least on my video, yeah, Jyoti Ma's video is frozen. So, well, hopefully she can fix that. But yeah, does anybody have any questions now that we got to talk about that? Well, feel free to type in the chat if you have any questions about the Siddha Masters and the pilgrimage sites that we're talking about. Yeah, that's a great idea. I think we can ask Mani and Venkatesh for sure. Let's see. Mani, can you unmute yourself, or Danielle, can you unmute Mani? There we go.
Yes.
Hey, brother. So we're wrapping up the call now, and we want to ask you, brother. We want to ask you and Venkatesh if you have any final words. If you have anything you want to say, and we're gonna finish the meeting now. So any final words from you and Venkatesh?
Yeah. Hey, Prema, tell me. I can ask him. Venkatesh is nearby here. Couldn't hear you. Sounds clear.
Oh, okay.
So can you repeat?
What is the last thing that Venkatesh would like to tell us? What is his final word? What is the last thing he would like to share? We're gonna say goodbye soon. So what would he like to say? Say goodbye.
You like to ask the Venkatesh what I like to say?
Yes, yes.
நீங்க என்ன சொல்ல ஆசைப்படுறீங்க கேக்குறாங்க.
என்ன சொல்ல ஆசைப்படுறோம்னா, இங்க இருக்கிற எப்படி சேவை செய்யற மாதிரி அதே மாதிரி அங்கேயும் போய் ஒரு சேவை செஞ்சுட்டு வரணும்.
சதுரகிரி இந்த இடத்துல போனா எப்படி இருக்குது? இங்க அந்த கோயிலை பத்தி என்ன நினைக்கிறீங்க? சதுரகிரியை பத்தி
அது ஒரு உன்னதமான புனிதமான ஒரு கோவில் அது. ஆமா, 18 சித்தர்களும் வாழும் பெருமிடம் அது. ஆமா, அப்பேற்பட்ட இடத்துல போய் நம்ம காடி மீச்சு வைக்கிறது அது ஒரு பெரும் பாக்கியம்.
So what Venkatesh like to say is, I told about what do you think about the Sadaragiri's place, because he is also coming with me day after tomorrow. So he says one of the spiritual part of the Tamil Nadu, one of the Sadaragiri is the best place. So if you put on your feet on there, it's a really big cure on soul, to make a purity on your whole bodies, because all 18 siddhas living there several times, making navapasanams and other things. So it's one of the best natural place, the holy part, he says. Thank you, Prema. Yeah.
Thank you, brother. That was very nice. We appreciate that.
Ask the same of Krishnaveni and Shiva. What would they like to say in closing as we get ready to leave the meeting?
Yes. Jyoti Ma. Jyoti Ma, can you hear?
Yes, we can hear you. We're just about
Yes.
to end the meeting. We're getting ready to end the meeting, but we want to ask what you and Krishnaveni would like to say to everyone as a closing to the meeting. What would you like to share?
Yes, we want to say that only one thing. The blessings of Arunachaleshwara and Lord Shiva Sundarar will get everyone in USA who is helping them, the sadhus and the pilgrims, and Sri Hari Baba also and Jyoti Ma also, and need some help from your side for us. Okay, Jyoti Ma, and we are praying that you must come here very soon to take off. Okay, Jyoti Ma.
We'll come as soon as we can. And thank you so much. And could you please give our guests a blessing before we end?
Yes. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. The blessings of sadhus from Tiruvannamalai and the Sundarar and Arunachaleshwara. Okay, Jyoti Ma. And we are also asking your blessing also. Om Namah Shivaya.
I send my blessings to all the sadhus of all of Tamil Nadu, to Krishnaveni, to Shiva, and to Venkatesh, and Nalini, and all the sadhus that can't be with us.
Okay.
Thank you so much for everything you're doing. Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. Namah Shivaya.
And Venkatesh, would you please also give a blessing?
Bless பண்ணுவீங்களா?
Can you give them a blessing? Hope you're all receiving the beautiful vibrations of this.
Om Namah Shivaya. Om Namah Shivaya. Lord Muruga. Om Namah Shivaya.
Om Namah Shivaya. He is for all of our Sri Baba Yatra groups. He bless all of you, our group team people. He says, stay with long life, with good health. Keep always this try to do the sevas for all of the sadhus in Tamil Nadu, in India, wherever in sadhus, please supporting for them, all of the for our groups. So I'm going to be day after tomorrow to Sadanagiri. I'm going to feed them nice things from the blessed by the Sri Hari Baba donation money. So all sadhus going to bless from Sadanagiri to all of our groups. Thank you, Jyoti Ma.
Thank you, Mani. Thank you, Venkatesh. I send you so much love and blessings. And have a very safe journey. Please wear your mask. And also, when you get to Satyagiri, send us some pictures, take some videos. We're very excited to see all the sadhus that will be gathered there. Thank you so much, Mani, for everything. And Venkatesh, we love you so much. I'd like to also
thank you, Jyoti. Thank you.
I'd like to ask Joshi to also please, do you want to say something in closing to all of our friends here today?
Yeah, it was indeed very pleasure to meet you and all of the team. And I hope the pandemic will go over soon and things will come in a track in every human's life. Thank you very much for being there and organizing such a beautiful program, Jyoti Ma, and helping all the sadhus of the team and everyone here in India. Thank you so much.
Joshi, thanks for everything you're doing there for us. It really means everything to have a reliable person and such a good friend. And we're very blessed to have you leading the team as our CFO and our trustee there in India. Thank you for being with us today. We send you and your family lots of blessings and love for your health and safety and security. And we'll look forward to seeing you in the next time that we gather on a live stream, which we hope to do soon. Thanks so much, Joshi.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you very much. Thank you.
I thank our team, Mani and Joshi. Without them, I don't know how we would do it. And of course, my most sincere thanks to the sadhus, to Venkatesh and Krishnaveni and to Shiva and Palani, who wasn't able to join us today, but that's okay. Maybe on a future one, we can get him a hot spot. But we are so grateful for our India team and for the sadhus, for their blessing presence. I also especially want to thank our promotional partners. I don't know how this would be possible without everyone collaborating to bring us together on this meeting. It's been incredible. And of course, I thank all of you who have joined us on this call. It's wonderful to have this communion together. I feel blessed by this group of attendees, and hopefully I get to meet more of you and interact with more of you, and yeah, share more blessings and abundance together. Thank you all so much.
Thanks, Prema. Thank you for all the work that you do for the sadhus and all the sadhana that you do for the sadhus and for the world as well. I also want to thank our promotional partners, those who have joined with us to get the word out, including Tree Sisters, which you can visit their Facebook page. Tree Sisters is a very amazing organization, and they've shared the live stream, and they've shared the video interview with me. They support Indigenous people and Indigenous wisdom, and we're very blessed to connect with them and grateful for their help. I also want to mention Wonderment Gardens, the herbal company in Silver City, New Mexico, not too far from where the pilgrimage will be held. They've been really wonderful in supporting our cause and sending out our emails, mentioning the cause of the sadhus to all of their followers. We are delighted and open to have more partners. If you want to share our cause, please write to us. I'll get Danielle to put it in our in the chat. It's info@enlightenedlightfest.com. You just write to that email, say that you want to partner, you want to help share the cause, or you can also say you want to volunteer. We have a core group of volunteers that work on strategy and messaging and social media and promotional things, and so please, if you want to be a part of that core group, the volunteers are great, a great little core group of people that work hard for the sadhus cause. And I especially want to thank Danielle and Adi, who I also would like to have them give a greeting or a parting message to us. Danielle has been really helpful, taking a leadership role, leading the volunteer cause. And Adi went to India with us and helped us so much with, we traveled around in a crazy bus everywhere, and we went to so many temples. We met all the sadhus. He was with us on the first trip. And then Danielle, his partner, she has been so helpful in helping us with a strategy and a cause, and we just love them. They're part of our Sangha and part of our family. What would you like to share today before we leave, Danielle and Adi? Is there anything you'd like to say?
So happy to see everyone on this call, and just to everyone. And, yeah.
It's very lovely to be able to say hello. Thank you Venkatesh ji, Krishnaveni ji, Shiva ji. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you for being here with us.
I just want to say my thanks to Danielle and Adi too, because I've known Adi and Danielle the longest of anyone here, and we've had some incredible journeys over all of these years together of different kinds. And, you know, they both have given a lot of energy to this endeavor. You know, Adi, it wasn't easy, you know, for me being in India the first time when I went with, and you were there. And so that was incredible to be there with you. And of course, Danielle, you know, we've had so much growth over the years, but I know that you guys are huge contributors to this. So of course, I haven't really thanked you enough, but I thank you now with all of my heart.
That's beautiful. Let's get all the team and all the sadhus will be unmuted for a minute so we can all say goodbye. And lots of love. And thank you everyone who joined us today.
Thank you.
All
Thank you
say
very
goodbye
much.
together.
Okay. Namaskar. Namaskar.
Bye, children. Bye. Thank you, my brother. Joshi, thank you.
We hope to see all of you next time on the next live gathering. And thank you all so much for being with us. And please, please, please go to gofundme.com, look up Feeding the Saints of Tamil Nadu and help us. Help us help the sadhus. Thank you so much. And lots of love and blessings to everyone. We'll see you on the next live stream. Have a beautiful day.